Long way from home, aren't you?
What do you want?
Ragnarok lead up by the third game. If there's anything that screams foreshadowing, well, God of War is filled to the brim with it. Hey, it's the reason we were able to do this list after all. Anyway, one of the most obvious examples is whenever Mimir or other characters mention Ragnarok, the Norse version of the apocalypse.
They call me Mimir, smartest man alive.
After a massive war and the death of important figures, Odin, Thor, Loki, Tyr, and Baldur to name a few, the world will flood only to resurface sometime later. Given the fact that Baldur is dead and Fimbulwinter has started, we have a hunch that Ragnarok will occur in time for the third game.
No, my boy! My dear sweet boy!
Number 9, something about time travel. We feel there's going to be a lot of time travel involved in future titles. Our piece of evidence for this is the World Serpent, who, in Norse mythology, is the son of Loki destined to fight Thor during Ragnarok. When said fight happens, Thor will send him back to a time before his birth. This would explain why the World Serpent appeared in the Lake of the Nine, and why Atreus looks familiar to him.
What is it?
Nothing to be concerned about.
Additionally, after seeing the mural about Surtur fighting Thor and Odin during Ragnarok, it seems like we're set in a time before Ragnarok. As it stands, we should be prepared for one hell of a scrambled timeline. Number 8, Atreus as a playable character. Throughout God of War, we witness Atreus gradually improve his combat skills over time. Most of it comes from our abundance of experience points, but he improves nonetheless. Knowing that the next game won't be around for another few years, it's safe to assume that we'll see Atreus as a teenager. At that point, we'd imagine that his skills will have significantly improved, which would make him an interesting character to maybe play as.
Let's take him!
Boy!
We aren't saying that he should replace Kratos, it'd just be interesting to alternate between two characters, or possibly have a player 2 join the adventure as Atreus.
Wait!
Number 7, Mjolnir will be Kratos' new toy.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
With the blood of Modi and Magni on Kratos and Atreus' hands, Papa Thor is gonna be out for some revenge. Of course, we can expect the Ghost of Sparta to emerge victorious from this fight too. Not only will this put us one step closer to Ragnarok, but it could lead to a new toy, Mjolnir itself. Although, we don't see this as a replacement for the Leviathan axe. Both are incredibly cool weapons to wield after all. However, you could create different elemental puzzles that require Mjolnir's lightning powers. Given the immense power that Mjolnir holds, you could get really creative with the runic abilities and attack combos. Or maybe Atreus gets to wield the mighty hammer? That'd be cool. Number 6, Fenrir will play a role in Atreus' story. The World Serpent was one of the best characters in the game, but now that we know he's Atreus' son from the future, when will Fenrir make an appearance? One of the murals in Jotunheim showed a pack of wolves surrounding Atreus. One of these wolves is most likely his son, Fenrir the Wolf Beast. He'd be a crucial part of the story too, especially since in the lore he's destined to kill Odin during Ragnarok.
This is our story.
That's a pretty crucial detail if Sony Santa Monica plans to keep up the accuracy to the source material. Unless, of course, Fenrir will end up having a slightly alternate destiny. Number 5, God of War versus God of War. In our eyes, Kratos will always be the God of War. However, in Norse mythology, our jerk of a king Odin takes the title after killing Tyr, who served as the Nordic God of War.
I can't believe Odin and Freya were ever married.
Love and hate are more closely intertwined than you might imagine.
That being said, we have a feeling that one of the sequels will be titled God of War versus God of War. Anyway, maybe not exactly like that, because that's super lame, but whatever.
For instance, Odin hates the giants and they him.
Either way, it would be fitting of the imminent battle between Kratos and Odin, whichever game that ends up happening in, whether it be the second, third, fourth, fifth, whatever. Besides, he's definitely not going to be happy that we killed all of his birds. Number 4, Artemis returns.
Go with the gods, Kratos. Go forth in the name of Olympus.
While the entire Greek pantheon has been decimated all to hell, not every god was actually killed by Kratos. One notable survivor is Artemis, who had a brief presence in the first God of War. She bestows Kratos with the Blade of Artemis, only asking that he fight for the gods in return. Spoiler alert, he did the exact opposite. With Kratos being responsible for Olympus's demise, and given her history and title as the goddess of the hunt, she best fits the bill to hunt Kratos down and seek justice on behalf of Greece. Or what's left of it. That being said, we wouldn't be surprised if she and her brother Apollo made their way to Midgard by the next game. Atreus venture into Tyr's vault and find an assortment of artifacts from different mythologies. It's most likely that we'll see other gods enter the story then, whether it be from Egyptian or maybe the Mayan gods.
Enough distraction. Do not forget why we are here.
Both of the aforementioned pantheons have been teased by a late-game mural, so it'd be interesting to see how those mythologies will be introduced into the story. Number 2, Kratos is Tyr.
I have nothing more to hide.
Yeah, we hear your thoughts. How can Kratos be Tyr if Odin has already killed Tyr? Well, that's the problem. Throughout the game, we see murals that can predict the future or explain past events. However, we're never told when exactly these events have happened, unless specified. Even Mimir doesn't have a clue. Judging from the depictions of Tyr across the murals, he and Kratos share a lot of similarities. Both have traveled between realms, which would explain how Kratos got to the Nordic world, and both sport magnificent beards.
Indeed.
Maybe this is something even Kratos knows nothing about. Maybe Kratos is destined to bring peace to other pantheons? Well, okay, maybe not that last one. Number 1, Atreus betrays Kratos. This is what our previous entries have been leading up to, so bear with us for a second. Atreus knows that Kratos killed his own father, but doesn't know that he left a trail of destruction in his wake.
Come on, we gotta go!
You saw.
There's no time, look!
That's where Artemis comes in, as she'll be the one to reveal to Atreus his father's vengeful past. Kratos has already triggered the events leading up to Ragnarok by killing Baldur. So, to prevent his father from repeating the cycle, Atreus seeks his future son Fenrir about the ability to send beings to the past, something that requires gods from many other pantheons to accomplish.
Is this how it always ends? Sun's